Today's verse, 1 Samuel 26:7-11. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days that David went out from his hiding place. And there he was in the same cave. And behold, Saul was sleeping in the camp, and his spear was in the ground beside him, and a jug of water hanging at his head by the rope. And Abishai the son of Zeruiah, and he was with David as one of the 3, the nephew of David, he said, See, God has delivered him into your hand this day. Now, therefore, let me go in and dig a hole under him, and get vengeance for the insults that he has insulted us with all his killings. But David said, No, I will not kill him, for he is the Lord's anointed. And because my father, he slew him when he was sparing his life. How much more also now, if I do it, would I be exceeding guilty? So David's heart, it did him good to spare Saul, and he was greatly afraid. Yet Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, again answered and said, Why should I listen to you, David? A word to slay Saul, isn't it a word from the Lord? Then David said, Swear to me, Abishai, by the Lord, that you will not tell this matter, and I will. I will show you what I will do with him. And he swore by the Lord. And behold, David rose from the ground. Now this is part 2 of our series called David Spares Saul. And we pick up the story here in 1 Samuel, chapter 26, verses 7-11. After 3 days of hiding in the cave, David and his 2 friends, one of whom was Abishai, they come out to check on Saul. They found Saul sleeping in his camp. And Abishai says to David, Hey, here's your chance. Kill him right now while he's sleeping. I'm gone. Nah. Dig a hole underneath him and I'm gone. Nah. Take my vengeance against him for all the evil that he has done to us. What should David do? Should he kill Saul? Now look at verse 9. It says that David didn't want to kill Saul, who was the Lord's anointed, because if he killed him, he would be exceeding guilty. See, David knew, and we know, that Saul was the Lord's chosen king, even though he wasn't acting like a very good king. And David also knew that when he had a chance to kill Saul before, didn't take that chance, but instead cut off the skirt of Saul's robe and spared his life. So David is saying, if I did that before, how much more so now that I have him right here in my hands? David's heart, it did him good to spare Saul, but Abishai wasn't convinced. He thought that David should just go ahead and kill him. He says, Isn't a word to slay Saul a word from the Lord? In other words, Abishai thought that David was actually being disobedient to God by not taking this opportunity to kill Saul. So what does David do? Well, David swears an oath to Abishai, promising to tell him what he's going to do with Saul. And then in the next chapter, David gets his chance to take vengeance against Saul, but instead composes a beautiful psalm, praising God for delivering his enemies into his hands. And in that psalm, he swears that he will never harm Saul, but will treat him with kindness. And that's exactly what he does. When Saul comes into the cave, David could have easily killed him, but instead he proved his mercy once again by only taking Saul's spear and his water jug. Hey, if you're a friend of mine, I hope that you enjoyed today's episode of the Bible in a Year. And if you'd like to subscribe, just click the little red button below and join us each weekday for the reading and the commentary. And remember, you can also check out our website to see the notes for today's reading and to sign up for our email list. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day, and remember, never, ever doubt God's goodness.